Well, I think I'm pretty indifferent as to insofar as PEDs one way or the other. If a tournament wants to have them, great. If they don't want to have them, great. I think obviously the matches will be better. I think the athletes will be better athletes. The athletes will definitely be able to get paid more because the better you perform, the better you look. These are all things that will lead to you being paid more as an athlete. Um, People want to see the world's best athletes. So if I go out there and I'm 30 pounds overweight and I look like a slob or I'm not jacked, you know, me and Andre, we both went out and we competed at ADCC and we were both shredded. We looked like real athletes, and that's what people want to see.
Last one for me. It kind of sounds like you're saying for the advancement of the sport almost that you don't think that they should be eliminated. It's more exciting. The athletes get in better shape. They're able to recover faster. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, I mean, for all sports, the reason people watch professional sports is to see the absolute best athletes in the world do what they do. And when you take performance enhancers, it makes you a better athlete. So I just think that across the board, that if people want to see the best athletes are the people on PEDs. And in addition, you have to understand that PEDs, PED testing, steroid testing, is a multi-million-dollar organization. But the money that goes into beating steroid tests is a multi-billion-dollar organization. Like when you have people competing at the Olympics, you have scientists hired by the country of Russia, by the country of China, by the country of the United States to go out and to beat these tests. So all that PED testing really does, in my opinion, is it makes it so that the people with the good teams and doctors can afford to beat the tests, and then the guys who are up and coming, who are just at some obscure gym in Kentucky who are trying to make their way up, those guys can't beat the test and they have to compete natural. So all you're doing is that you're making so that the guys on top can still afford to beat the tests and the guys on bottom can't afford to beat the tests. So then you have natural guys competing against juice guys anyways, whereas if they're legal, then everybody can just take as many steroids as they want. And if it's really against your moral code or whatever the case is to take steroids, then do it natural. I have no problem with that. But it gets tricky because there's always guys that are going to beat the tests, and I think that obviously it complicates it when you have PED testing. But there's still going to be guys that are on steroids. I mean, you look at the NFL has drug testing, and the guys in the NFL have traps coming from their AC joints up to their ears. So I mean, it's just largely a joke. It's just for show. It's an interesting question. Like if you look at Brazil, like you can go into the pharmacy and you can get like a lot of the PEDs over the counter. So it's I don't really know why Americans have this big thing that are against PEDs. A lot of them consider it to be cheating, and in a lot of sports it is cheating. Like a lot of sports you aren't allowed to use them. Insofar as why Americans don't agree with the use of PEDs, I'm not really sure. Because when you look at Americans, they want to see athletes be the best athletes they can be, and the lifespan of an athlete is relatively short. PEDs help improve that lifespan. You can compete longer, you can recover faster, and if you're competing until 30 or 35 years old, maybe you can squeeze an extra 2 or 3 years out of that, and you can give the fans what they want. You can keep competing for a longer amount of time, and make a little bit more money yourself for it. So I'm not really sure why Americans dislike the use of PEDs. It's versus relative to other countries. I'm not positive.
And